But you a bad beast, I'ma hit it like Liu Kang.
Alright, so right before we actually head into the tutorial, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone for 145 subscribers. Now, this tutorial was actually supposed to come out during the 100 subscribers time, but something came up and it was all delayed, my plans were delayed, but now we're right back on track and here's the tutorial. So anyways, thank you all again for 145 subscribers, and without further ado, let's get straight into the tutorial. Alright, so for the dimension, I'm gonna be using 1920 by 1080, but you can use whatever you want. And then after you make your composition, import your picture like so. So just drag in your picture. It also works with the clip, but I'm not sure if it's gonna look good. I haven't tried. The next step is gonna be pre-composing the clip or picture. So you just need to hit the layer, then hit Ctrl-Shift-C. That should bring up your pre-composition dialog. And then make sure you actually click the move all attributes into the new composition and adjust composition duration to the time span of the selected layers. So hit OK and then go into that composition. And then hit Ctrl-K to bring up these settings. Now for the composition of the picture or the clip, this needs to be square. So like our main composition is gonna be just 1920 by 1080. But this one needs to be a square. So, and make sure you actually name this accordingly because it's a lot easier to edit when everything's organized. Alright, now as you can see, the picture is small and it's not taking up the space that we need. All we need to do is actually scale it up like so, and it actually looks low quality, but that's just because it's on quarter. I put it on quarter like all of the time because sometimes my computer can't handle when I preview in the full quality. So I suggest you do the same. If your computer's not handling the full preview, it's not gonna affect the final quality, so don't worry about that. I just put it in quarter. Alright, anyways, go back to your main comp and then make sure you scale this down because that's gonna look big. Now, the next step is actually duplicating this comp 5 times so that you have 6 compositions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that's 6 compositions. Then the next thing you're gonna want to do is select everything and then make sure you enable 3D. And then what you're gonna do is you're actually gonna Control A again and then hit A to bring up the anchor point setting. Then go to the Z value and put this whatever this value is so that the anchor point is not only in the center of the 2D space, but it's actually also in the center of the 3D space. Might not make sense right now, but you're gonna get it eventually. So make sure it's 960. So the values are 960, 960, 960. The next step is you want to hit R to bring up the rotation setting. Or the next thing you want to do is actually hit this here where it says default. Then you hit custom view 1 so that we see like the 3D view, not just the 2D view. Now we just minimize this and minimize this because we're not gonna need these options. So for the second composition, what you're going to do is go to the X rotation and then put 90. And then the second one is going to be 90 as well, but on the Y rotation because we already did the X. So 90 again. And then for the fourth composition, we're going to make it negative 180 on the Y axis. Like so. And then for this one, the fifth composition, make sure it's negative 90 on the X, like so. And then negative 90 on the Y, this. And after that, we could just twirl down all the settings like this. So just Control A and then hit the little arrow. Then the next thing you want to do is actually make a null so that you don't have to control each of it like right here. It's not going to look good if you try to control each composition separately. So a neat technique that we do here is actually make a null object. So to make a null object, you need to do is Control, Alt, Shift, and Y. And then now hit the first comp and then Shift and then the last comp to select all of the compositions. Take this pick whip. That's what it's called, a pick whip. And then you want to drag it over here. And now all these compositions are actually now linked to this one object. And now what you want to do, this step is actually super crucial. You have to hit this button right here. So that turns it from a 2D object to a 3D object. If we hit S and then we do this, it's actually going to scale up the entire cube instead of just scaling one face of the cube. Now in the preview, I actually put like a border here. There's a border right here. Now that's actually super simple to do. We'll just need to go to the main comp and then go to one of the compositions and then scale it down a bit. So like maybe 245. Yes, that looks good. And then add a solid. I'm gonna make it a white solid because that's what I did in the preview. And now as you can see, it's gonna cover the entire screen. That's just because it's above the picture layer. So we just need to Control, Alt, and then the arrow key to move the layer down. So now if you go back to the main comp, you should see a border right here. Now that the cube is done, go back to the default view, because when you render the scene, it's actually gonna use the default view camera. It's not gonna use any of the other custom views. So make sure that you go back to the default view when you're animating so that you actually animate it in the correct camera. So with the animation, you can do anything you want. You can do rotations, you can do scales. Here, I'm gonna teach you just some basic rotation stuff. Keyframe your Y rotation like so, and then go down 30 frames. So I'm just gonna do 1, 2, 3. This shift and then page down to skip 10 frames. And then if you do it 3 times, it's gonna be 30. So we're gonna do 90 here. Then another 3, 1, 2, 3 for 180. Go 180. What I want you to do is actually easy ease this. So like select everything and then hit F9 and then go here to the graph. Make sure you only select Y rotation and then drag this. Now you don't have to copy my graph. If you have your own graph, then great, use that. But this is my own graph, so you're free to use it in your own edit if you'd like. So just follow what I'm doing right here. Now, making graphs like this actually takes a bit of time of experimenting and stuff. So this is the graph that I've come up with, and then it's gonna look like this. So it's very smooth, because if you just did this, it's gonna stop in the middle a bit, right? But if it's a constant slope like that, it's not gonna stop. It's actually smooth. Like so, it's not gonna stop. It's always gonna be in motion. That's what makes it smooth. And then lastly, go here and then go around here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames away from the middle keyframe. And then animate your X rotation here. Then go to the end and then like 4 frames after this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do a 90 degrees here. Then again, select everything. F9. Go here. Then move this a bit to the right. Then like so. And then if you look at the entire thing, go right, and then up. It's really smooth because of the graphs that we put. Now, if you want me to make a tutorial on value graphs, then hit me up in the comments below. If enough people ask for me to do it, then I'll make one. Now, usually you're gonna have to time these rotations to the beat, but since we're not gonna be using any music here, I just winged it. Okay, so that's the end of the tutorial. Again, I'm very thankful for the 145 subscribers. And I'm sorry that this came out late for the 100 subscribers special. When I hit 100 subscribers, I was going through a little something, you know? So it got delayed, but here it is now, the cube tutorial. If you enjoyed and learned something from this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And if you have any requests, you can put it in the comments below, like a graph tutorial or maybe the particle world tutorial. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you around. And oh yeah, I have an edit in the works right now. It's a Jujutsu Kaisen edit, so wait for that. Alright, see you guys. Bye!